What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today on NW Fishing, we are sitting at the house and we're gonna go over my full 2026 rod arsenal. I have a total of 15 rods and I'm gonna be showing to you guys, some of which are my brother's that I just use a lot, but I wanted to share with you guys. But 4 spinning rods and 11 casting rods. So all for different things. Got some new rods that I just got for Christmas and stuff. And I got some old ones that you guys have seen me catch countless amount of fish on the channel. But yeah, all right, anyways guys, I'm going to start with spinning rods and work our way up. But yeah, first rod is a rod that you guys have seen me catch a whole lot of bass on. This is the Halo KS2 Elite 610 medium with a Shimano Noski on it. This is my just like dedicated Jighead minnow rod, strolling rod. Right now it has a moosh minnow on it. I'll throw a moosh minnow, a freeloader, any just kind of smaller to mid-sized minnow I really love on this rod. This rod is awesome. I've caught a whole bunch of fish on it. It's just a great rod for these techniques. I'll also link my setups down in the description and tell you what techniques I use them for. But Shimano Noski on that. That is a 2500 size. I really like that 2500 size. Balances really well with this KS2 Elite. But this is an awesome little setup for the Jighead minnow. All right, moving forward. Put this one down. Them all lined up down here below me, but this one is the Daiwa Tatula XT 7-1 medium light with a Abu Garcia Revo X on it. This setup here is, I reuse this rod is, for me, is used for a bunch of things. It's actually my brother's rod, but I use it a whole lot. And my brother's caught a whole bunch of fish on it on the channel too. So 7-1 medium light Tatula XT with a Revo X. This is 10-pound braid to I think this is an 8-pound leader on here, but I also throw 12 too. But that other one had an 8-pound leader on it as well. But I kind of mix up my leader just kind of depending on water clarity, size of fish, what type of bait I'm throwing. But yeah, this rod I'll throw, it's a really good drop shot rod, Ned rig rod, that type of stuff. I also really like it for my, it's another really good minnow rod. But I have a 5 1/4 inch Rapple freeloader on here right now. It's a really great rod for that. But this is just a great, this rod can do a lot of things. It's a great little setup. This is a 20 size Revo X on here. So yeah, it's a little bit smaller reel, but it still balances really well with this 7-1 medium light Tatula XT. Moving forward, we got another Tatula XT, but this one is the 7-foot medium. This guy here has a big old 7-inch Sakamata shad on it. It's really good. This rod here is really good for these oversized minnows, these 6 to 8 inch baits, and also a really good like wacky rig rod. If you're gonna skip a wacky rig under a dock, it's a pretty powerful rod for a spinning rod. It's 7-foot medium, so it's got tip, but it's also got a good bit of backbone, so you can really drive those hooks home. But this is a 7-foot medium here. Really like this rod for big minnows. Wacky worms, and also a shaky head is really good on this rod too. This has a Daiwa Acceler on it, 2500 size, 10-pound braid to a 12-pound fluoro leader, and this is just a really awesome, another little budget spinning setup here. I got one more spinning rod for you guys. This one is one of my favorites here. This is the Shimano X Pride 7.2 medium light with a Shimano Noski on it, 10-pound braid, 12-pound leader. This rod here, this is just an awesome little rod here. I mean, this thing can do just about everything from like shaking a minnow all the way to like a wacky worm or a shaky head or something. But it's labeled as a medium light. It's a little bit stiffer than most medium lights, so it's kind of in between like a medium lighter and a medium. So I really like this rod for, it's a good minnow shaking rod for those mid-sized minnows. But it's also really good for like a drop shot, really good drop shot rod. This is my favorite little, it's not going to be like a super finesse drop shot rod, but a rod that I can throw just like, my standard Texas rigged or nose hook drop shots on, kind of around, like around where I live. If I was going up and fishing like the Great Lakes or something, I'd go with something a little bit lighter than this. But this rod is just really good as a drop shot rod, and also really good as a shaky head, like a small, like a finesse shaky head rod. I also throw Ned rigs on it. I'll even throw like a Neko rig or something on this rod too. But great little rod there. This one's a lot more expensive than my other spinning rods that I've talked about. And it's just a $100 reel on here. Shimano Noski, love this guy. This is the old one. They came out with new ones, but yeah, Shimano Noski 2500 again, 10-pound braid, 12-pound fluoro leader. I have a drop shot tied on here right now, but that's that new Z-Man Fuzzy Bugs on there. But yeah, well, hold up, we got tangled up just a little bit. Let me get this out for you guys. But a really good drop shot rod. Love this rod for that. But yeah, golly, keep getting tangled up. But if you guys don't want to listen to me talk about this stuff for a while, I don't know how long this video is going to end up being, probably somewhere around 20 minutes, I'd say, but then you can go down in the description and look at all of our stuff. Hold up. Man, this is giving me, the setup right here is giving me some difficulties right now. There we go, okay. So moving on to the next one, we have our first bait caster. This is actually a bait finesse rod right here. 7-foot light Cashin icon with a Corrado BFS on here and 7-pound fluoro. This rod here is a super duper fun rod to fish with. It's just an absolute pool noodle. Let me show you guys. I mean, this thing is just like, I mean, it's just such a pool noodle. I mean, look at the bend on that thing. That's just nothing. But I really like this rod for throwing, like, I throw a lot of micro topwaters on it. Like, this is a Jackal Riser here, a really small topwater. A lot of people throw it on a spinning rod. I really like it on a bait finesse, though. I feel like I get just as much, if not farther, casting distance. And it's just, you know, I'm just used to fishing topwaters and like straight wine baits on a bait caster, so it just kind of has that muscle memory. Also, exceptional setup for a Karashi, Megavast Karashi. That's another bait that I throw on this rod a lot. And also, a bait that I like to throw on this rod is a Spybait. A Spybait is it's another finesse technique that a lot of people throw on a spinning rod. I really like it on a bait caster though, because it's another one of those just straight retrieve baits that goes really well with this setup. So that's the bait finesse setup there. 7-foot light Cashin icon with a Shimano Corrado BFS and 7-pound fluoro. Moving forward, we have this is a little bit lighter bait caster, but this is a 6'8" medium light Arc Essence with a Daiwa Tatula 80 and 12-pound fluoro. So this one here is not quite a bait finesse setup, but I really like this rod for, if you guys know me, if you guys watch the channel, you know I love to throw a jerkbait. I throw a jerkbait all the time. And I actually have 2 jerkbait rods. This one here, actually this is my brother's rod, but I just use it a lot. You know, you guys have probably seen me catch a whole bunch of fish with this, but I really like having 2 jerkbait rods. I mean, just because there's 2 different types of jerkbaits that I throw. This is the Shimano's Inverno 95 here. It's a lot smaller jerkbait than usual. It's a more compact profile. It's lighter. It's harder to cast, and also it has smaller hooks in it. So the reason I like to go down to the 6'8" medium light is it definitely has more. It's more tip in it and it's just a softer rod in general. So I really like that for those smaller jerkbaits, and it's just a more compact rod that can throw those Invernos and those 110 Juniors and stuff. That's what I really like to throw on this rod. Also, you can throw, I also like to throw like really like finesse swimbaits, like a 2.8 Kitech or something is really, really good on this rod. But yeah, that rod right there, like even like with a mini underspin, something like that, that is a great little setup for that type of stuff. Now, moving on to my primary jerkbait rod. This is the Dobyns Caden. This is actually the Dobyns Caden cranking rod. It's a 6'10" medium, moderate fast. So the difference between this and the other rod, this is a 6'10" medium instead of the 6'8" medium light. So it's has a little bit more power, but it's still soft enough to where, you know, it's not going to pull those hooks out of the fish. Nice parabolic action, which is something that's really important with throwing something with treble hooks like a jerkbait. But I really like this rod for my standard size jerkbaits, like like a 110 here. This is a 110 plus 1, or like a Berkeley Stunna, something like that. Just a normal like 110 size jerkbait. That's what I really like on this rod. But you can see it's not as soft as the other rod, but it still has a nice parabolic action. And I have a Shimano SLX 70 on here. This is the 7.2-to-1, and it also has 12-pound fluoro. I also really like this rod for, again, you know, this would also be a good finesse swim bait rod or a blade bait. A blade bait's really good on the setup as well. But yeah, that's the primary jerkbait rod. Next, we're going to go to a cranking rod here. This is the Dobyns Fury. Dobyns Fury crankbait rod. This is the 7-foot medium heavy moderate fast. this rod is an exceptional cranking rod. This is actually a fairly budget-friendly rod. It's a $150 rod, so super budget-friendly. I like this rod. This rod can throw anything for me from like, it's kind of like, it's not the best like flat side rod because it's not like as soft as some cranking rods, but I've thrown flat sides on it. It can be good for that. It's a really versatile cranking rod to where I can throw something down to a flat side on it, but I can also go up to, you know, most of your medium divers like a rock crawler or like a 2.5, like a bigger square bill or something like that. But a nice parabolic action, which is really important on a cranking rod for anybody. I also throw a lipless on this rod. There's a really good lipless rod as well. I'll put a higher speed gear ratio and burn a lipless over grass slats on gunners with this rod a lot of times too. But awesome little cranking rod. The reel that I have on here is a Shimano SLX XT, 6:3-to-1 gear ratio. I like that slower reel when cranking. That's just really important for me because it allows me to slow down a little bit, and that's kind of important because, you know me, I like to fish fast. I'm a little bit of OCD, so yeah, I like to fish fast, I like to cover water, and 6:3-to-1 kind of helps me slow down a little bit. But that's the setup. Got 12-pound fluoro on here. This is just a DT6 that I have on right now. That is a awesome little shallow to medium diving crankbait setup. That's the Dobbins Fury cranking rod there. All right. Next rod, we have a discontinued rod here. This is the old St. Croix Mojo Bass. You can tell I've had this thing for, I think, like almost 3 years now. The cork is just like gone. Or not, it's just like so brown. But this is my topwater rod. St. Croix Mojo Bass, 7-foot, medium heavy, moderate fast. They don't have this model in the new Mojo Bass, the Trigons. So if I can find it, and I don't know if they have it in the Victory or not, but I'll link either a similar model in the Trigon, or if it's in the Victory, I'll link the Victory in this model. But 7-foot, medium heavy, moderate fast here. It is a really, really good rod for topwaters. This is my all-around topwater rod. It's a pretty soft rod, but it's enough to where I can throw, you know, still like this mid-sized walking baits on it. But it's pretty soft in the tip. I really, really like that for my top waters. I like to be able to, because I throw braid on my top waters, so I like to be able to have something that's going to have give, unlike my braid. I throw braid to leader with top waters. I have 30-pound braid to a 14-pound mono leader. I throw a mono leader. But yeah, that's just the Mega Bass Giant Dog X there. The reel I have on here is just a little SLX. This is a Shimano SLX, 8.2-to-1 here, so this is the high-speed one. And yeah, that is the topwater setup there. A really old rod, but this thing has put in some work. It's caught a whole bunch of fish for me. And yeah, that's the topwater setup. Ooh, knocked my phone down. Oh, there it is. There we go. All right, moving on to, got a little bit higher end setup here. This is a fairly new one, but you guys will see me catching fish on it on the channel. This is the Shimano X Pride 610 medium heavy. You guys can see that right there. But 610 medium heavy Shimano X Pride with a Shimano Corrado 70. This is 7.4-to-1, I think is what this is. Yeah, 7.4. And it has 16-pound Sunline Sniper on there, 16-pound fluoro. And I have a spinnerbait on it now, but this rod here is just an exceptional, like, all-purpose rod. I'm trying to get this, hold up, there we go. Exceptional all-purpose rod. It's a little bit shorter, which I kind of like for throwing like a spinnerbait or something like in close quarters. But you can see it has a fairly soft tip, but gets the back rod pretty fast. So this is kind of just, you know, your standard medium heavy rod. It's a 610, so it's a little bit shorter. I really like it for a spinnerbait. I also really like it for a finesse jig if I'm skipping or something. Also good as a jigging spin rod, something that's underrated for that I've caught some fish on with it. But that's the Mega Bass SV3. This is my favorite all-around spinnerbait rod. Awesome rod for that, and also a finesse jig goes exceptional on this rod. But yeah, super lightweight combo, and this thing is just a dream to fish with. And now we're kind of getting to the rods where I had to walk over here. There we go. We have there's a new rod here. This reel is not new though, but the rod is got the 13 Fishing Myth. This is a 7.2 medium heavy moderate fast. I'm excited to fish with this rod. I got it as a chatterbait rod. I really wanted a new chatterbait stick because the tip actually broke on my old one, or it, you know, I couldn't find a tip to replace it with, and it just kept, kept moving and stuff. So I just decided not to deal with that pain anymore, and just got me a new one with some money. But yeah, this is a $200 rod. This is a 13 fishing myth. Don't own any 13 rods, so I'm excited to test this one out. I really like the bend on this one. It feels really great in the hand, and I think it's going to be awesome for chatterbait fishing. But 7.2 medium heavy, moderate fast. I like a moderate fast tip with a chatterbait, so I can let those fish, get it. Like that rod can load and kind of has give to it when those fish, suck that bait in from behind. But yeah, awesome chatterbait rod. I could probably throw underspin on it as well, but I'm really, really excited for this. It has a Revo SX on it. This is a 6.7 to 1 gear ratio. I like kind of like a slower to mid-speed reel with the chatterbait. I don't want something too fast, again, because I just kind of like to slow down, but anything too slow is going to, kind of hinder the my ability to fish it like around grass or something. When I rip it out of grass, I need to pick up line. So this is a 6.7 to 1 gear ratio, so it's a high 6, so it kind of does a job perfect for me. And this also has 16-pound fluoro on it. I throw a lot of 16-pound fluoro, but next one, you guys see me catch piles of fish on this rod and this reel. But one of my favorites here, this combo's been going on for about 2 years now. This is the Halo KS2 Elite 7.2 medium heavy fast with a Abu Garcia Xenon 8.3 to 1 with 16-pound fluoro on it. This is just a dedicated dragging rod, like a jig rod, Texas rig rod, something like that. This is just amazing for it. This has a compact pitch and jig on it right now from Dirty Jigs with a baby D-bomb trailer. But this rod, I just love it. It is awesome. I've caught so many fish on it. I caught my biggest fish of the year on this combo. Didn't have the camera with me, but it was like a 5 1/4 in a pond on this exact jig and this exact combo here. But I love this thing. I've had this rod for almost 2 years. Had this reel for over 2 years now, so it's a little bit over 2 years on this. This one's about 1 3/4 years. But I won this rod from a tournament, and that's when I really first started to get into a little bit higher end rods. This is like a $180 rod, I think, so kind of that mid price. But this is kind of my first more expensive rod. So yeah, this is kind of just what got me into all of these other rods, and this combo is just so special to me. I've caught so many fish on it, and I'm excited to continue to put it to work in 2026. Hopefully catch some more bigs on it. Now we're going in to another rod here. This is going to be another new one. I'm really, really excited for this, but another new rod here that you guys have not seen on the channel. This is the Shimano Zodius 7.5 medium heavy with a Corrado 150 on it, 6.2 to 1. And this rod here, this is going to be an A-rig rod for me. A-rigs, like a mag draft, even like a flutter spoon in the summer would probably be really good on this rod. 7.5 medium heavy. I really like the Zodius for this, the Shimano Zodius, because it has a long handle, if you can't tell. This is like a 17-inch handle, I think. So when I have an A-rig, I really want to be able to, it's a lot easier to make a long cast with a heavy bait when you have more leverage on the handle, and also you want that butt to be comfortable in your on your side when you're chucking and winding an A-rig. But yeah, I'm excited for this one. Awesome little setup for that. And the next one, we have the this is the frog rod here. This is a Daiwa Tatula cork here. This is a 7.4 heavy frog rod here. This is designed to be a frog rod. 7.4 heavy, extra fast frog rod. I'm really excited for this. It has a Spro Bronze Eye frog on it right now. Revo SX 50-pound braid. So this is going to be awesome. I'm really excited for this rod. This rod's pretty stiff rod. Has some tip, which you're going to need a little bit of tip to launch a frog out there, but you also want some backbone to be able to pull those fish out of those heavy mats. So I'm excited to put this guy to work this summer on Guntersville. So that's going to be really fun. But 7.3 to 1 gear ratio, Revo SX on there. You want a higher speed reel. These Revo SXs take up a lot of inches per turn for their gear ratio. So the 6.7 to 1 is kind of more of like a 7, and the 7.3 is kind of more of like an 8. They don't have an 8, so the 7 just is, it's a high speed reel, and it's gonna do the job for frogging. So yeah, I'm excited to put that guy to work. And last but very not least, a rod that I'm super excited to put to work this summer and maybe even this winter with a different technique is this is gonna be my glide bait and punching rod. This is a 7.6 extra heavy Shimano X Pride with a Corrado 200 on it. Has 65-pound braid to, right now it has a 20-pound fluoro leader because I'm throwing this Buka trick shad on it. But this is gonna be a swim bait rod for this time of year, and then once it gets to the summertime, I'm gonna be flipping with this bad boy. You know, if you guys know, or if you guys watch the channel, you know how much I love to flip and pitch in the summertime. I love punching mats over at Gunnersville, and this rod, I'm super excited. I had an old Abu Veritas for a while, and it was just getting too heavy. It was just getting too old, and I wanted something for when I'm having days where I'm just flipping and pitching all day, but I can have something lighter and easy to use. So this guy, it's pretty stout. It's a moderate fast action though, which I really like because it's a pretty stout rod, but it loads pretty far into the blank if you can't tell. So that's going to be able to keep those fish pinned on a glide bait and when you're punching, but it's strong enough to be able to pull fish out of the mats and cast heavier baits like this. But yeah, that right there, guys, is gonna do it for the video. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. We are not going to be able to be out fishing much in January just because super busy this month with basketball and stuff. But once we get back to February, then we will be doing a lot more fishing. That's when tournament season kicks back up. But thank you guys so much for watching. We'll try to get a few more videos out in January of just maybe get some pond fishing out, maybe even get on the boat one time. We'll see. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. And just leave a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment if you enjoyed. If you have any questions about anything, then just drop that in the comments as well. But thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you next time on AW Fishing.